Hey guys, it's Tara Castaneda here, part 4 of my Are You Stuck series. Today let's do a recap. What have we talked about already? We've talked about are you stuck? Typically, you're stuck for one of 4 reasons, and it could be a combination of any of the 4 or just one. It could be that you don't know your destination or your why. It could be that you are out of alignment with yourself and your business. It could be that you lack influence. And the 4th one that we're going to talk about today is that you've reached your leadership lid. Okay, so we're going to talk about what that is. So first off, what is a leadership lid or level? How do I know where I am with that? And how do I reach the next level? We're going to talk about that today. Okay, so the first one, what is a leadership lid or level? Well, first, it's important for you guys to know. Sorry, I was just looking at something real quick. First, it's important for you guys to know that that your leadership ability directly impacts a person's level of effectiveness, so much so that it actually determines someone's effectiveness. This is straight from John Maxwell, guys. It's also important to know that an organization or a team, okay, your team, can move no higher than the leadership qualities of the leader. Yikes. Could this be why your team is stuck? Where is your leadership lid, right? Maybe that's why your team is stuck. So your lid or your leadership level is where your current leadership abilities are. Okay, again, leadership can, and I've said this in so many of my videos, leadership can be taught. It is a skill set. It is like a muscle. You can work that muscle, that leadership muscle. When you don't use it, it tends to kind of go away a little bit, but you got to work it. You got to build it. You got to teach it. You got to nurture it. You can build your leadership skills, right? But when you become complacent, it just kind of sits there and it affects all other things in your life, and especially your business. You're going to become stagnant. Okay, so how do I know what level I'm at? What do I do here? Okay, really simple. Go to Google, type in 5 levels of leadership quiz. It'll be the first thing that pops up as a PDF. You're going to print it out and take the test. And it actually involves you polling some other people, so you need to be honest. Be super, super honest. And it's actually www.centerstreet.com/the 5 is not spelled out as the number 5. The 5 levels of leadership _bonus.pdf. That's the one. You're going to go online and take this free quiz, and it's going to actually tell you what leadership level 1 to 5 you're currently at. Okay, be painfully honest with yourself on this quiz, guys, so that you know where you are. And then I want you to pick up the book by John Maxwell, The 5 Levels of Leadership. It goes with this quiz. It's about $10, super quick read, and learn about the different levels, okay? This was probably one of maybe the most influential book of my Plexus career. I've read it several times, and every time I get something new from it, but I had to read it when I was an Emerald because I was stuck at my leadership level, and this is what helped me get to the next level. I was at a 2 and it got me to a 3. Guys, a lot of you guys that are probably watching these videos, maybe you're a senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, you tend to be at around a level 2. If you want to break through, you've got to reach that next level. So I highly recommend this book. I could easily recap the book for you, but I'm not going to do that because I think that's a disservice to you. I want you to read this book for yourself, pour yourself into this book, listen to what John says and what he suggests. He gives a lot of examples on what the next level of leadership looks like. So basically those are suggestions for how you should act as that level. So begin to implement that next level of leadership qualities. Excuse me. Guys, it's so important to invest in this kind of stuff. When you invest in yourself, you're investing in your future. As cliche and as cheesy as that sounds, it is such the truth. And this is what I did, guys. I didn't play around. I really poured myself into that book at that time. And that is what helped me get unstuck because it helped me push to that next lid. Okay, so here are some tips. So your next question is, okay, so how do I reach that next level? Well, I want you to read that book and definitely take some notes on that. But I'm going to give you around 10 tips right now on how to reach your next leadership level. And I encourage you guys to take some notes on this because some of these are super important. Okay, number 1, never accept average, typical, ordinary, status quo, doing what everybody else is doing, or thinking just the way everyone else thinks. those are leaders who are on cruise control. Above average leaders have their foot on that gas pedal, and they are always looking for ways to improve themselves, their team, and push things forward. Not sitting there complaining about where they are, but pushing past, overcoming, moving forward. Average leaders usually have their foot on the brake, causing momentum to kind of slow down or causing a mindset to kind of shift backwards. And sometimes leaders don't even know that they're doing this, and that's what's kind of scary. So has your team stalled? Take a good look inward and see if your narrative has stalled you. See if your fear or your doubt has stalled you. See if your ego has stalled you, right? Maybe you think that you know it all now. See if you are too concerned with what others are doing and what you should be glorified for rather than what you're truly doing, right? These are important things to think on. Number 2, refuse to be comfortable, my friends. Y'all, it is time to get uncomfortable. I want you to get uncomfortable with where you are. Do not be happy with where you are, right? I used to stress out some of my upline, kind of as a funny joke. I would promote, and the very next day I'd be like, okay, I'm ready for the next one. And they're like, oh my gosh, just enjoy it. But that was just me by nature. I was never comfortable with where I was. That just wasn't me. I encourage you guys to find a healthy balance of that, but get uncomfortable with where you are. Leaders grow the most when they deliberately put themselves in uncomfortable situations. That means stepping out of your weakness, stepping out into your weakness, recognizing that others could help, or maybe do it better than you, or maybe that you could learn something. On other occasions, it's sometimes choosing to do things differently than everyone else is in order to propel your team forward the best. You know your team the best, right? So get uncomfortable. Get uncomfortable with where you are in your leadership. Get uncomfortable with where you are in your rank. Do not sit there and become complacent and go, well, I'm happy with where I am. No, guys, you are worth more. You are better than. Keep going than where you are. Keep pushing forward. Number 3, have integrity. A leader without integrity has fallen into self-deception, and they're going to typically lead an organization straight into the ground. Put your ego to the side. Put your ego to the side and maintain integrity. Number 4, stay a while. I love this. Before you leave, pray to stay first. I love that. Because it's easy to walk away. It's easy to say, it didn't work. It's easy to throw your hands up and get overwhelmed and back away. You can choose to stay where you are and grow through it. Or you can leave and then have to come back and rebuild it. Which one do you want to do? Right? Rebuilding isn't easy, guys. Nothing increases your influence and leadership than longevity, right? Makes them trust you more. Number 5, take on something bigger than yourself. Create something bigger than yourself. Create a culture that people want to be a part of that's more than just self. Furthermore, what are you doing right now that you can't do without some outside help? If the answer is nothing, then you are comfortable and you are sitting in a big old fat chair of complacency. Right now, I am partnering up with another Diamond ambassador who we lead very similarly, and we're going to form a book study for our top level 1 leaders. What are you doing with your upline? Other key leaders, sideline friends that you look up to. Always try and find someone that you look up to partner with. And are you truly accepting their help, or are you being the one that knows it all and talks it all? Right? You become a better leader, and you have more faith when you take on things bigger than yourself. And this usually ends up requiring you to trust in God a little bit more too, right? It can be scary to take on bigger things than yourself. I love this quote: better is always found on the other side of the impossibility that God has called you to make possible, right? Number 6, get better connected with higher leaders. This is so important. This is essential if you want to lift your lid, guys. If you are not happy with where you are as a leader and your rank, If you're not happy with where you are, then find someone who is the rank that you want to someday be, and learn from them. You want to be a diamond? Go connect with a diamond. Don't be nervous, don't be scared, and don't be envious. Okay? Learn from them. They are there for a reason. They have reached that rank for a reason. Call them, text them, leave them a comment. Take initiative to open that door to help you reach your destination. Okay? And don't be offended if they don't respond super quickly, because sometimes people get a lot of messages and it's hard to respond quickly. But find a leader that you want to emulate and connect with them. Number 7, ask your mentor. This is a tough one. Write this one down. I encourage everyone to do this. Ask your mentor, typically your upline or someone in your upline that you respect, why they think you aren't the rank you want to be at yet. For example, let's say you're senior gold and you've been wanting Ruby for so long. Ask your upline or someone in your upline that has some experience why they think you aren't there yet. Give them, here's the second part of that, give them permission to be brutally honest with you. Tough love can sometimes be the best thing, and sometimes it takes an outside pair of eyes for you to see what you need to be doing. Okay? Number 8, replace yourself. This is such an important one, okay? If you are not creating leaders to one day replace you, then you are ignoring the key to leadership. Point blank. If all you want are followers, then you are just seeking praise and you are filling your ego more than you're actually wanting to be a leader. Okay? Leaders create leaders, not followers. Leaders. Lifting your leadership will require you to not be threatened by leaders coming behind you, placed below you, or have gone before you. I'm going to say that again because it's an ouch statement, and sometimes we need to hear that again. Sometimes that can be a hard pill to swallow right there. Lifting your leadership requires you not to be threatened by leaders coming behind you, placed below you, or who have went before you. If your insecurity is keeping you from this, then you are failing as a leader. You really are. If you don't know who your predecessor and successor is, then you don't have true leadership success. Guys, it's so important there. Number 9, be a lifelong learner. When you think you know it all, you fall. When you think you know it all, you fall. Constantly read, Google search topics to learn and read more articles. Guys, how do you think I taught myself on influence or leadership lids or alignment? Guys, I poured myself into books and articles and leadership development. I taught myself. Take initiative in that. Be a lifelong learner. Be inquisitive. Be curious. Be invested in yourself enough to develop yourself. Take self-assessment quizzes. I take those all the time. I'm not talking about the ones on Facebook to see what former president you are or what character on Gossip Girls you are. No, I am saying take a self-made quizzes online that teach you where your leadership skills are, or for example, the one that I just mentioned, things like that. Let's see, have a devotional, have a journal, have a planner, set goals, learn and take initiative. Number 10, work hard. Guys, lifting your leadership lid, it ain't easy. Okay, it's not easy. It takes getting in there. It takes getting dirty. It takes being vulnerable. Sometimes it's going to cause some tears. You might feel pure exhaustion at some points. You might feel discouraged at some points. But guys, it's worth it. If this frightens you, if hard work frightens you, or if you think you don't need to do the hard work, then you're never going to raise your leadership lid. So you've got to be willing to roll up your sleeves and get in there, okay? And I'm going to leave you with 2 paragraphs out of S. Truett Cathy's book, Eat More Chicken, Inspire More People. I read this on an article that I just found to be so interesting. To continue making a positive impact on the people around us, we must avoid complacency in all aspects of our lives. The dictionary defines complacency as self-satisfaction accompanied by unawareness of actual dangers or deficiencies. Too often we see people who are satisfied with mediocre performance and minor achievements. They look next door and see what they are doing, as well as their neighbor. At work, their accomplishments rank right up with the national average. But look at what it means to be average. You are the worst of the best and the best of the worst. You're not achieving anything unusual. You're choosing instead to go with the flow. When we do less than our best, we become discontent and burned out. Wow. So guys, I'm going to leave you with this. Are you truly performing at your best? People come to me all the time and say, I'm stuck. How do I get out of it? Are you truly performing at your best? And be honest with yourself. It's time for you to get unstuck. Allow yourself to get unstuck. Get in that cocoon of metamorphosis. Let yourself expand. Let yourself grow, guys. Get uncomfortable with where you are and do your best.